So Joe Biden just broke his word and did what he said he wasn't going to do, and that's pardon his son, Hunter Biden. I want to go over this. I think it's an important story. I just made a video about the lawlessness in the USA, and it seems to be getting worse. This is the kind of precedence that we have, and the basic gist of it is, hey, if my side does it, I'll just get political favor, or if it's a family member, I'll just pardon them. They can do whatever they like, or a CEO that I like, I'll just pardon them for whatever. And this is what lawlessness is. You don't want this kind of stuff. Let's read the headlines here, see what Biden says about this. And again, he said he wasn't going to do it. And again, this is setting a bad precedent. Headline: Biden issues a quote full and unconditional pardon of his son, Hunter Biden. And this is just coming out just a few minutes ago. Here's another quote. The charges in his cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. So I understand the political fights about, and then this is from the Republican side, they've made all these false charges, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you should pardon your son, right? In my opinion, no pardon. Maybe they get like a lighter sentence, probation or whatever, but no pardon. That's my opinion on this stuff, because again, I think this sets a bad precedence, because you could talk about, say, George Santos or Menendez. It doesn't matter to me which party. If I want to talk about Eric Adams, or I want to talk about Elon Musk, talk about Jared Kushner's dad, again, it doesn't matter to me which party. I just want to uphold the law. If you guys disagree, if you want laws differently for people who are connected or of wealthy status, than just regular people, you let me know. But for me, just being just a regular American, I want laws, equal protection on law, that kind of stuff. But I get it. This is the system that we're going into, or in, I guess, now. Biden also says here, no reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because of my son, and that is wrong. It also says here, there has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, right? Even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. So I understand that the point of view that President Biden is taking. I completely understand that. Like, you guys have been attacking my son with all kinds of stuff forever, laptop this, laptop that, right? And I never defend Hunter Biden, any of this stuff. You never hear me defend this stuff. I'm definitely not defending Biden here. I'm just saying this is what he's saying. Says here, the president's son was convicted on 3 felony counts for illegally purchasing a gun. So that was the charge. It said Mr. Biden said he would not pardon or commute the sentence of his son. I think he had tax evasion in there too. I remember he pleaded guilty to that. So that's the kind of charge that we're talking about. Biden also says here, I said I'd abide by the jury decision. I will do that. So that's what he said, I guess, back in June. So he's going back on that. His son, he faced 25 years in prison for lying on a federal form regarding his drug addiction. So this is the kind of, I just don't go over the kind of charges are. And then I guess he bought a handgun in 2018. Also says here, first-time offenders who do not use weapons for violent crime typically receive much lighter sentences. So that's what I thought they were going to just give him whatever light sentence, fine him or whatever. Legal analysts have said it was possible that the president's son could have received a year or less behind bars, or even probation, right? So again, that's what I was thinking that was going to happen. I think this idea of just pardoning people is no good. It has happened in the past, though. So they gave some examples here. This is again from the New York Times. President Bill Clinton pardoned his half-brother Roger Clinton that was on drug charges for a while. Trump pardoned Jared Kushner's dad. So Jared Kushner is Ivanka's husband. So that would be Trump's daughter's husband. Pardoned the Kushner dad. And then that one, that was a whole crazy thing of like tax evasion. And then I made a video about it. I'll just tell you if you don't know, it's this crazy crap of like the guy was doing, tax evasion stuff. And then the brother-in-law of Jared's dad then worked with the feds to expose him, and then to get revenge, Jared's dad then hired we'll say lady of the night to go to a motel room and use a hidden camera, recorded thing, then sent the tape to his sister. It's crazy crap. And then the whole thinking about the whole Hunter Biden stuff that I mentioned before on the channel. There's pictures out there of him doing all kinds of substances, hanging out with, again, ladies at night, this kind of stuff. All these people are all the same to me. I don't want to associate with these kind of people. I don't suggest you to associate with these kind of people. You just don't want to get involved. The problem is, though, again, for like people like you and I, if we're out doing this stuff, tax evasions and illegally buying things or lying to the feds or whatever, we would face charges, right? We can't just call our daddy and get a pardon. So I want to get really clear. I don't support this kind of stuff, and it's really disappointing, to be perfectly frank, because it supports the fact, because guys, I really get it. I really get it. When people say, Chris, it's all a uni party, guys, I really understand. I really understand more than you know. I totally get if you want to talk about, particular foreign wars, that either party may end up being the same no matter who's in power. I mentioned that several times on the channel. I never say otherwise. And this kind of stuff, I just think it's really, really disappointing. So I don't know what to say. How about this? Whenever I talk about this kind of stuff, I just try to give you the perspective, just average person, and what I think is fair, what I think is good for our system as a whole. But unfortunately, it just the divide between rich and poor, it keeps getting bigger. You see it in markets, you see it in businesses, this kind of stuff, and then when you see it in politics in this kind of way, I think it's awful. I also understand too, completely understand when people say, oh, witch hunt this, witch hunt that. I understand that stuff. My feeling with any of these kind of things is, hey, if you make accusations to someone and you have evidence, bring it, go to court or whatever. In this situation with the Hunter stuff, some of the stuff stuck, some of the stuff didn't. Some of the stuff they got guilty charges, which would be like I said, it was like the gun stuff, the drug stuff, the tax stuff, right? And I was like, okay, do whatever time you have to do for that. Other stuff, if you want to go down the Republican, conspiracy rabbit hole, you can certainly do that. But I don't see any guilty things on that, or what do I say, verdicts on that stuff. But on the stuff, the tax stuff, the gun stuff, and the drug stuff, sure, you should pay the time. And this goes for anyone out there for any kind of crime. And if I'm saying anything crazy, that if you do something wrong, you should pay the time. I don't think I am, because I think, like I said, I just want a fair system for all of us. So that's my opinion on this one. I know there are people out there that'll be upset that I'm not constantly attacking, your Trumps and your Musks all the time. Guys, I just want justice. And I think any reasonable person out there should want the same, and we should all want fairness. So that's my opinion on this stuff, and I want to hear yours. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next video.